Hey everybody out there, this is your coin consultant, and as promised I wanted to put a quick video up and tell you what is junk silver, because I promised that I would, and I have already posted a video, a must-see video, to let you know what your junk silver is worth right now and how to check it every day, every minute if you want to see what its value is. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what it is. You're going to see if you got it and how much you got, and then you can watch my other video and you'll be armed with the information you need when you're going to sell it to get the most amount of money that you should get, or trade it for a rare coin, or trade it for services or whatever. Now, plain and simple, junk silver is not junk. Junk silver is circulated coins that you can touch, you can move, bang around, because you're not worried about it getting maybe a fingerprint on it or a scratch or something, because it's already been circulated. It's been in cash registers, it's been in car wash slots, it's been in arcades. This stuff has been around, because in order to be 90% silver, it has to be made prior to 1965. That is the silver we're talking about. The coins after 1964 do not have any silver in them. The only exception is half dollars, and I think I have, there's Kennedy half dollars, there's Franklin's. The ones I have here is Walking Liberty half dollars. They're all the same. They're all 90% silver, and they all have the same amount of silver. I have some old quarters, same thing. Washington quarter, same thing. They look different. They're both 90% silver. They both weigh the same. They both worth the same. So the only difference is the half dollar, the Kennedys. These are Kennedys, but this is a little different. I'll talk about in a second. The Kennedys, since he was assassinated right after they started making them, they made it 90% silver in 1964, and then they continued to make it 40% silver from 1964 to 1970. All right, so through those years, 64 through 70, there's 40% silver. So still a good value there, because right now a dime is worth over $3 in silver content. Crazy. Over $3 if it's junk silver, not clad dime. So anyway, that's it. That's all junk silver is. It's silver that's been used, that's pre-1965. That's it. It's 90%. Watch my other video and it'll tell you how much it's worth. This nice little stack here is worth a nice chunk of change. Now, I did want to go over real quick stuff that is not considered junk silver. It might be the same coin. It's a quarter, and it might even be the same year. However, they're not circulated. It might be out of a proof. It might be out of a mint set. I don't know if that's one of them. That might be mixed up in there on accident. I think that goes into junk silver. It's pretty though. But yeah, that one definitely came out of a proof set. Deep cameo, cool toning. Doesn't look like it has any scratches on or anything. You're going to be able to sell this stuff. So you have your proofs, and then you have your same quarters that are uncirculated, mint condition, and they're called BU, brilliant uncirculated. They're in mint condition, so they get a premium over what this sells for. The good thing is it never sells below what this sells for. So if this dime, as I explained to you, is worth $3.46, if you have a dime over here that's uncirculated, it'll never be less than the $3.46 melt value. It'll just be worth the $3.46 plus a premium for being uncirculated, because when it's uncirculated, you can you can do things like this. You can grade them. I brought a few examples. Here's some silver dollars, which also can be junk silver, but they usually, look at it, see the beautiful toning on it. So you wouldn't want to sell that at junk silver values, not with that kind of colors and things. So you even get more money just for toning. There's different companies, different holders, but you can see these have never been circulated. They're mint state. They have very attractive toning on them, even though they've never been used. The silver tones naturally, and they're just worth more. So I brought some silver dollars out, and also a roll of 1964 Kennedys. So these are all 90% silver. However, it's a brand new roll right out of the wrapper, never used, never seen a cash drawer. So even though these are 90% silver, and this roll uncirculated over here, 20, which is in here, in this pile, 20 of them would be worth, I believe today, $336 and some change just for this. But since they're uncirculated, possibly gradable, just because they're uncirculated does not mean they're gradable, but possibly, depends on the condition. That's where you really got to look at them closely, but they still get a premium. Their price starts at the melt value, which is $336. So if you were to auction uncirculated ones, I would start the auction at what's called spot price or melt value, $336.40, whatever it is today. And then it should go higher than that, because if people are collecting and they want to get the whole set of Kennedys, they would, they might want to get them uncirculated condition, or they might not care. Anyway, that's what junk silver is. And then, as I told you, you got your proofs, and you have your uncirculated, and then you have your silver dollars, which, if some of these do look uncirculated, so I may have them graded, but as you can see, there's some scratches on them. Some might be cleaned. But when you're talking about a silver dollar, a lot of times they'll go on the junk silver. People will throw, one or two in there with your bag if you buy a bag. But you can almost always sell these for numismatic purposes for a higher amount than melt value. So if the melt value on this was $35, you can almost always get at least $40 for one that's used, circulated, and a lot of times a whole lot more than that. That was just a cheap example. But when it comes to the silver dollars, I highly recommend you look up the dates and mint marks before selling them, because some are worth way more to coin collectors than their silver content, way more. And some are very common and they're not worth way more. So it's you have to look it up, but it's pretty easy. 1885 Morgan silver dollar value, and you type that in and you can easily look and see if it's well circulated, it's worth this much. If it's brilliant uncirculated, it's worth this much, and so forth. If it's graded already, it's got a number right on here, and you can look it up and it'll tell its value right at their company. But I wanted to tell you what junk silver was, because it's very important that you at least know that part. And quarters like this, you're not going to get graded. You're not going to do anything with. It's worth a lot of money. Today's silver prices is crazy. I believe it's around $46 today. It is a Sunday, so I'm not totally sure, but $46 a troy ounce, 1 ounce, $46. So that's why a dime is over $3, and so on as you go up the denominations, to quarter, half dollar, and dollar. So typically when I do junk silver, I keep away from the silver dollars. I do those totally different. I do quarters, half dollars, dimes, and believe it or not, nickels. Silver nickels. Please watch my video. It's only 3 minutes. It's on this channel. Silver nickels is only made during World War II. They look like a regular nickel, an older nickel, but my video shows you a very easy way to tell if it's a silver war nickel or not. And they have $3 or I'm sorry, they're worth like $1.50 or $1.60 something right now because they have 35% silver in them. They look like a regular nickel. My video shows you how to determine in like 2 seconds whether it's a silver nickel or not. And you can just crank through them, get a box from the bank and just crank through them and start piling all the silver ones in tubes like I do, and you just wouldn't believe it. $1.65 a nickel, and they look just like regular nickels, so they always get mixed up in regular change. I tell people stop using their card and use cash so you get change back, because that's where you get all this stuff. Anyway, that's it. If you have any more comments, please question me in the comments. If you have any questions, is what I meant to say. Ask them in the comments. Again, uncirculated, proof, all not considered junk silver. Should get a premium for it. Silver dollars, I would do that totally separately because you could get more. Stick to this junk silver. You can, it does feel cool. I don't know what's something about silver. And just my last note, there is a few rare dates and mint marks for your like standing Liberty quarters and your $50. If the date's worn off, and then you're not going to get much more when they're that worn. But there's a few that even if they're really worn out, date and mint mark is going to get you a bit more money, and it's really easy to look up. Type in key dates for Walking Liberty $50 and it'll tell you. So while you're bagging them up, if you look and you happen to see that date, you might want to auction that one separately. But I'm going to put another video up on the things you can do and now that you have silver and it's worth so dang much. You may not want to auction it. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. But stay tuned, watch the video, and you'll find out. All right? That's all I know for now, and this is your coin consultant. Talk to you soon.